hours into your game, and we saw some manual things happen this morning, and that is wonderful, but we wanted to just take a few minutes this morning to remind you about the actual presentation piece that's going to happen on Wednesday. So we will have that same type of structure, meaning our A and B group, so you'll be on for half of it, and then the second half you'll get to go around and try out some of these games, which is amazing. The only difference is we're not going to be in the hub, but we're going to be upstairs. So we'll show you those groups and we'll show you those classroom assignments in just a little bit. But we wanted to talk to you about this whole idea of the professional presentation on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. So we have 5 things that we're going to talk to you about today. The presentation, technology, dress, language and speaking, and positivity. And the reason that we're talking to you about this today is because not only will teachers and staff members be circulating, but we should also have some professional industry members. So we want you to look professional, not just for your own grade and us who see you every day, but for our visitors, parents, guardians, those types of things, but probably most importantly, industry professionals who will be here. So it is important that you know your audience and have an awareness of who will be here so that you can rise to the occasion. And the first part about that is actually your presentation. So on Wednesday, you want to make sure, just to reiterate, that you have at least one full level of your game that is complete and ready to be played. You may not have your whole game, and that's totally fine. For some of you, your ideas are large in scope, and that's wonderful. Please don't stay up for the next 3 days trying to finish the entire game. We just need one section or one level that is complete. And if you're not sure about how that works to your game, then talk to Mr. Andrews and talk to Ms. Massmary and figure out what is a good chunk of your game that needs to be ready. But it does not have to be the whole entire thing. Any questions on that? Okay. If you need controllers for your game, I know many of you are using keyboard controls, but just in case, you want to make sure that not only are those controllers here with you Wednesday morning, but they're also charged and ready to go. Your manual needs to be completed and printed. So remember, even though there are certain parts of the manual that you're going to share with your group, for example, both of the English parts can be shared between group members, everybody needs to have that information for themselves printed, and that manual needs to be ready to go on Wednesday morning. Any questions about that? Okay, this is probably the most important section here. You can access this PowerPoint, it's on vide, but literally, here's what you need to speak about. First of all, start with your original idea that came from way back when we were doing storyboards. Absolutely, you can say, here's what inspired me, this game or this movie or this genre, but talk about where this idea came from, kind of the origin of your game, so to speak. If you remember the documentary that we watched, they spent a lot of time interviewing those creators, and we heard stories about that one guy's grandmother and how that turned into this multi-million-dollar game. So think about the answer to this question and have an answer ready to go. Have a little speech about where and how this idea came up about whatever, zombie teachers running around on a baseball field. You then want to talk about your building process. And this is a really important part, including challenges and obstacles. So typically, a lot of students think that they should only talk about the good things, but what professionals really like to hear is, okay, when you hit a wall, what'd you do? Because everybody does. Everybody has an obstacle, everyone has a challenge, everyone has tech problems, whatever it was. Not only should you share that obstacle, but then you should talk through okay, well, here are the steps I took to get beyond the wall. Here's what I had to do to figure out this obstacle. And it might be, I tried this first and it didn't work. Okay, I had to pivot. I had to try this second and it still didn't work. Let me tell you why the third time worked for me. Teachers, administrators, parents, industry professionals, they want to see that you're able to be flexible and apply logical thinking skills when stuff happens, because stuff always happens. So please don't try to hide that, but instead use that as your strength. Yep, this happened. Now let me tell you how I dealt with it. Let me tell you who I talked to. Let me tell you what my partner and I brainstormed. Let me tell you how many different tries it took before I found the solution. Because now you don't look like a failure, you look like somebody who is going to be tenacious and keep trying different creative solutions until you find the one that works. And that is exactly the kind of person that people want to hire. So in the next day or two, really think back over that process and decide, okay, what challenges can we really talk about, not as a weakness, but as a strength? And if you're not sure, come see one of us. We'll be happy to walk you through that. Once you talk about your idea and that process, including challenges, then end on a positive note. For you, what was the best part? What was the favorite part of your game? What turned out really well? What part of your game did you have the most fun playing? What part was the most fun to design? What part turned out the best for you? So end in those positives, the stuff that you liked, and by all means, if you and your team members had a triumph moment, something went brilliant, even if you didn't plan it to, by all means, share that with us. Let me pause for a second. Questions on these 4 speaking points here, or what to say on Wednesday? Okay. Mr. Yoga. Yeah? Uh-huh. Not on Wednesday. Please don't come around with extension cords and wheels. We don't want to hear it. We just want you to plug it in before you come to school. That's it. Okay. We also, because we have industry professionals visiting on Wednesday, we want you to look professional. Now, this does not necessarily mean fancy. It simply means not shorts and a t-shirt, okay? Nice pair of jeans would work, absolutely. Short sleeve button-down shirt, you bet, okay? Doesn't have to be a skirt, doesn't have to be high heels, it doesn't have to be a tie. It just has to be a little bit different from what you wear to go play baseball, okay? So take some time that morning, make sure that your clothes are clean, make sure that you are clean, make sure that you've thought about your outfit before Wednesday morning, because not only do you want to look professional, but also you want to be comfortable. Cannot stress this enough. So pick an outfit that looks nice, but that you feel good in. And that does not mean a sports coat and a tie and a top hat, although for some of you possibly. But make sure that it's something that you feel confident in, and make sure it's something that you are comfortable in, because guess what, kiddos? You're gonna be standing. When you are presenting, you're not sitting, you are standing, just like at a professional tech expo. So especially with the shoes, make sure they look nice, but most important, they're comfortable, okay? And same thing here. You don't have to get fancy, we don't need extra hairstyles and makeup and fake eyelashes and blah, blah, blah. But make sure your hair is out of your face. Make sure your face is visible. So that might be a tie, that might be a barrette, that might be a headband, what have you. Be comfortable, be clean, be not casual. Let that speak for itself. Don't be the dude in the red. Very embarrassing. Yeah. Probably want to be somewhere between the dude in the red and Jim in his tuxedo. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. All right. When you are speaking to adults, whether they are teachers or parents and guardians or professionals, please be sure that they can hear you. You're going to be in a classroom with lots of other people presenting. So please be sure, especially if you're normally on the quiet side, that you're speaking loud. Make sure you are enunciating. Make sure that you've practiced that origin story, or you've gone over the how I got through my obstacle phase speech once or twice, so that you know what you're going to say, you're ready to say it, you know how to pronounce those words. But most importantly, you know all the cussing that we hear all the time, everywhere here. Yeah, you can't do that on Wednesday. Not only will you embarrass yourself, but you embarrass the school. So you gotta clean it up. That's the professional world, and this is us getting you used to the professional world. That's part of it. Not only is this cuss words, but we're also talking slang. So once again, if you think about what you want to say prior to Wednesday morning, that will help. The slang and the fillers, those like words come from when you're not prepared and you're stalling. So your brain is just trying to figure out what to say next. And don't do that. Think about it prior. Keep it clean, keep it formal. Last piece for us here, be positive. And again, this is something that you want to do in the professional world as well. We tend to be our own worst self-critics. And so we default to, oh, my game kind of sucks. Well, I had this great idea, but let me tell you why it didn't work out. Meanwhile, the person standing there is like, I thought this was really good. So start with that positivity. You're not downgrading yourself or your product. Remember, you overcome challenges. That's what you do. You break through walls. We don't need to know that you had 15 levels planned of the game and only got 2 done. We don't need to know that. We need to know why those 2 levels are amazing. We need to know how you overcame those challenges for just levels 1 and 2. You keep levels 3 through 15 to yourself that day. You see what I'm saying? So don't be the first person to downgrade you. You need to be the first person to present how great things went and what your good points are. Because that's what everyone wants to see. We're drawn to that positivity as audience members. We're going to go play the game where people look happy and excited. So make sure that you have that positive manner when you walk in Wednesday morning. Once again, challenges are great. We want to hear about them. Give them that positive spin. Tell us all the things that went wrong, but what you did to overcome them, how you got around those obstacles. So it's okay to talk about setbacks, because that sets you up to talk about your resilience and your tenacity and your creativity, okay? We want to see that growth. We don't expect you to be perfect. You're not robots. You're human, and we want to hear how you navigate those human challenges. Last quick thing, as always, be patient on Wednesday when you are in that presentation mode, because there's like 90 of you, and there's like 4 of us. So if you are waiting for someone, we will get there. Just make sure that you remain standing, you remain smiling, so that as soon as somebody turns their attention to your booth, you're ready to go and you look good. All right, what did I forget?
Oh, the pants being up.
Yep, you are more than welcome.